Hello there, every creature. The Raptor has once again escaped confinement and is a bit cold today. I am in an environment which is rather unusual for me. Typically, velociraptors lived in what is now the Gobi Desert, and so we are rather used to warmer environments, but this particular one, as you can see, is anything but. We are playing Arctic Incident. I haven't really looked too much into the lore or anything for this particular mod, and the main reason that I'm playing this is because I really wanted to see some Arctic representation of Half-Life, because I don't think this is something that happens too much in any of the games. Of course, Half-Life 2, with the Borealis, I believe, was supposed to go to the Arctic, if I remember correctly, but that never ended up happening, and so I feel as though this might be a fun little thing to do. And despite my better judgment, I will be playing on medium after all. So let us start, and I have 5 seconds to skip the intro, but I do not wish to skip the intro. Okay. We are wearing white hazmat suits, it appears, and we have unleashed a monster. Several, actually. Alright, we managed to kill them. And a white Vortigaunt. Alright, so we have apparently unleashed some sort of monster here in the Arctic, it sounds like. Or a bunch of them, rather. So we dug into the ice with this sort of red laser. Sometime later. Oh wow, and already, we've barely begun playing this game, and already I like the vibes. And I'm reminded of Ernest Shackleton's Journey. There was a book that I read about it, and this reminds me quite a lot of it. The custom sound effect when you walk around the snow. You know, when you're walking around fresh snow and you have this squeaky crunchiness between your boots. That is the sound that you're hearing here. I very much enjoy that custom sound work. The UI also has been completely whitened. As you can see, everything here is white. The health is white, the armor is white. So a lot of work has gone into this, which I enjoy thoroughly. We immediately get a gun. And so yes, this is going to be one of the more combat-heavy ones again. Most Half-Life mods are going to be in this vein. And we have somebody else in this white hazmat suit, and it is always strange for me to see somebody wearing a hazmat suit with the helmet, because Gordon obviously does not appear to wear one on the cover of the game. The wind howling, the snow falling down. Already I feel cold just looking at it and walking through here. I don't have a melee weapon, which is rather unusual, because typically you get melee weapons before anything else. And now that we have stepped inside, the wind howling stops, and we are greeted by the typical Half-Life indoor sound effects of sparks, machinery whirring, and all that stuff. So that is delightful. I already hear that we are not alone in this place. I can hear Vortigaunts. Alright. A Vortigaunt, and unfortunately I do not know what these monsters are all called in Half-Life, but one of them floaty boys. Alright, so I'm not entirely certain who we are. I believe, so in the intro you saw somebody in a helicopter, so perhaps we were sent here to investigate what has happened to this research facility. I don't remember. Let's go back to the outside. Was this actually part of Black Mesa. It just says Arctic Scientific Complex, and there is no Black Mesa logo here. So this might be part of Black Mesa, and it might also not be at the same time. It is hard to tell at this moment. So we can we go up here? I don't believe that we can make this jump here, no. There is a ladder here, we can go up. A security keycard has been picked up. Alright. I hear some sort of noise, and I heard cockroaches, and I hear more vortigons. I'm not entirely certain what this ammunition here is that I just picked up. Perhaps it is for the machine gun later on. Alright. I do save rather frequently, as I've said previously, mostly because I do not wish to repeat things all the time, as it is not fun to watch. Right, we could jump down here, but I feel as though that will kill us. Yes, it does. Alright, where shall we head? So if we can go up here. Interesting. Already, I'm somewhat confused as... Oh, we picked up a security keycard, so probably we are supposed to go back. Bull squid. A white bull squid. These are small details, but I do like that they made everything, you know, specifically Arctic by making it, you know, as you can see here, white, rather than the great greenish color of the bull squid, typically. The lights are off. You can hear the sound of some air escaping here from probably the heating system. Warning. Stop machine before making adjustments. Alright. This is probably to turn on the light again. And one thing I find interesting is that everything here looks cold. The color scheme itself is cold. The concrete has this bluish tint to it. The lights are blue. And I enjoy this immensely. Everything here makes me feel cold, which is, it makes it a nice map for the summer. I feel as though if we walk in here, we would be electrocuted. And I would prefer that that did not happen. So I do not know if I can touch this. I can. Alright. Intriguing. So we are able to go through here, but I do not know what it is that we are supposed to do in here. Alright, we got some ammunition from those boxes, but... No, this is for the door, so that does not help us here. I see. We had to turn on the electricity so that we could simply open the door, and then we had to turn it off again so that we can go past this area here, which... head crab. And another one. So many head crabs, and even the head crabs are white. Another dead researcher here sitting in the corner. Yeah, that does not bode well. I believe you may have placed this sign mirrored down onto the wall, dear mapper. It is somewhat amusing seeing this sign placed here upside down and mirrored, rather. Not upside down, it is simply mirrored. Such things happen, but it is fun to see. Oh, that buzzing sound is not amusing. It sounds like the buzzing of some headphones when you plug them into some headphone port that isn't the best. Alright. Ah. It feels as though this is like some sort of generator here that is doing the buzzing at me. I don't like the sound, though. It gives me goosebumps. Even just the buzzing sound. Alright, I hear more of you here. Why are you throwing around these shelves? Oh, no. Alright, I feel as though we should probably... Ah, there we go. A grenade was the answer to all our troubles after all. Right, we got some more ammunition. They even have custom recharging ports for the HEV suit and for the health packs. And they do have a random image of some airplanes here, which is amusing. Alright. Let us continue on our path. I feel cold just walking through here. I do have feathers, but they don't keep me warm too well. Ah, there's a bull squid down there, feasting on something hidden underneath the ice. I have briefly played this mod roughly 10 years ago, so I have very, very faint memory of a few things that you shall see here, but I do not remember anything specific. But I have played this before and I enjoyed it, simply because of the fact that it's quite different from your typical Half-Life map, which is, you know, inside some sort of facility in the desert. And so this is quite different, because this is a facility not in the desert, but in the Arctic. About as different of... I hear more Vortigons. About as different as an environment as you can get. Ooh. Hello. The atmosphere is impeccable. The color here, the color is very cold. You can hear the faint howling of the wind while we are hidden here in this cave. It's fantastic. Very well done already. I am a very big fan of how this map this far. I don't believe it's actually a rather... It is actually a new map. I believe it is rather old. Not terribly old, but I believe it is from around 2015. So I played it just after it was released. There is something calming about wind howling in the Arctic. It feels very calming. I do not know why. This is obviously despite the fact that this should be somewhat distressing and not comfortable at all. Yet, for some reason, it is. And it feels strange to say, yes, I feel very comfortable here in this cold environment. But I do, and it is fantastic. It is really fantastic. I enjoy this immensely. It is relaxing so far. Despite the combat, it thus far is rather relaxing. One of the next maps that I do wish to play is called Challenger Deep 2. So if you're a fan of other types of environments, especially underwater ones, which I personally am a large fan of, then you should try to stay tuned, because we will absolutely be playing Challenger Deep 2, this underwater-themed map, or mod, for Half-Life 1. I believe it might be a several part-long series, because I believe it is a bit longer. Perhaps 2 parts. I do not want to have videos too much longer than about 2 hours. And I feel as though 1 hour is the maximum that I want to do, unless it is a map that is finished in an hour and a half or so. But if Challenger Deep does end up taking 2+ hours, I will split it up into 2 or more parts. so. Just so that you are prepared for that. Ah. We are now in some sort of ice cave here. Some sort of ravine? I don't know if that is the correct word, but... Standing by the fire here, warming ourselves. More dead researchers, which is not ideal. It appears as though they might have released some sort of evil. Some sort of creature. Or, you know, perhaps creatures. I wonder if this is a result of the Black Mesa... Ooh. I wonder if this is a result of the resonance cascade, or if this is an isolated event unrelated to the resonance cascade. That would be interesting if there is going to be some sort of law that explains this. Ah. I'm just here taking in the atmosphere. Fantastic. This mapper has done an amazing job with the soundstage. I want to go back there and I'll show you what I mean. Listen to this. The low humming sound, what sounds like the ocean almost. Very quiet, almost wave-like sound in the background. If we weren't in this rather dangerous situation, I would say that this was actually a rather relaxing place to just sit down and relax, perhaps be with your sit around just with your own thoughts, sleep, take a nap, maybe read a book. This is fantastic. I could actually see myself putting this on at night so that I can sleep better. It is fantastic, and I wanted to briefly point that out because I believe the mapper has done so far a fantastic job of getting across this feeling that I personally always get when I look at these icy environments, which is both one of desolation, but also one that is relaxing because of the desolation. There is no contact with the outside world. You are completely isolated, aside from that small research station that you can call home. And so it is relaxing in that sense, that you get to not be spending time with the rest of society and just be doing your own thing in this actually almost alien environment right here on Earth. Right, I briefly touched the water and I was given a little bit of damage, so it appears as though touching the water is not ideal. Ah. Alright, I can hear some fire. Oh. Looks like a landslide. I must find the explosives and try to blow it up. Alright. Ah. A key has been picked up. Now that would have been very easy to miss. I mean, they did make it so that it was glowing, but I feel as though that could have been made a little bit clearer. I am lucky that I have point-and-click adventure instincts and was able to see such a thing. Oh. Alright, let's do some sniping. There we go. Ow. We've been doing quite well thus far when it comes to combat, and it has been much easier than the last map that I played that had combat in it. Well, I have picked up the... Oh, right, okay. Sometimes you have to press E a few times for some reason, but that is alright. At times, this game can be a little bit janky, but that's alright. Also, I wish to briefly, again, point out that this game is now 30 years old almost, and I still feel as though everything about it still holds up so well, aside from, you know, the graphics perhaps, because obviously the graphics are dated in the sense of not having many polygons, but I don't believe that should be the measure of good graphics. Good graphics shouldn't be how many polygons or how realistic does it look. Good graphics is, in my opinion, good art direction. You can have art that is good to look at that isn't necessarily realistic. And this chase for realism in modern games, in my opinion, is counterproductive, because just because it is realistic does not mean that it looks good. And I personally like these more fantastical things, especially lighting in modern games. To me, always looks rather boring. And the lighting in Half-Life 1 especially has always been really fascinating to me. For some reason, it just has the perfect feeling to me. This underground ice cave that we're currently in, with these strewn about lights here that emanate this cold blue glacier-like light. They are fascinating, and it's just, I really like this atmosphere that it's creating. And part of it is obviously also the mapper's fantastic atmosphere in general. This would not work if the mapper wasn't good at making maps, and they clearly are. It does have a rather good rating on ModDB. I believe it has a rating of roughly 8.6, which is rather good. 8.6 out of 10. It is obviously not the best rating out there, but it is a rather good rating. And here is one of the first lights, which is actually warmer. This particular one here, this kind of stick light. I don't know what I would call this, but this light is warmer compared to all the other lights that we have thus far seen, and it immediately changes the atmosphere of this particular ravine or crevice inside the earth. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, you did die. All right. He just died very unceremoniously, and so I wasn't sure if he actually did die, because it was rather hard to tell. But nope, he did die. Perfect. Get some more ammunition. Oh, I hear something. Ah, it is you. Ah. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, they actually do cold damage, which is interesting. I mean, it does make sense. Ow. Come on. Die for me. Well done. Such a good boy. Alright. There is some health there, but I don't really want it right now, because we are just 7 health away from full health. And alright, so we have this pushable box here. And so let us think where we would need it. Oh, probably right here. So I'm assuming we are going to have to push it down there and then climb up there. Is that what we have to do? We shall find out. Yes. Yes, that is indeed what we were supposed to do. Let us do a proper save right now instead of a quick save. More of these guys. Wait, do I hear a soldier? Why is there a soldier? Are we not alone here? Alright, that is rather surprising. I'm surprised that there's other soldiers here. So it appears as though we might be fighting some humans soon. Which I do not like, because the humans have an aimbot. Okay, they don't have an aimbot, but they do have hit skin, and I don't like hit skin. Because, you know, it is difficult to actually avoid. with the Vortigons and all the other aliens, it is rather easy to avoid their attacks. As you can tell, I've been barely hit thus far. Of course, there were a few times that I was hit, but for the most part, their attacks are easy to avoid because they're not hit-skin, and they have a charge, and then you can, okay, I need to step aside now, otherwise I'll get hit. But with hit-skin enemies, there's no such thing, and it is always rather difficult for me to find those enjoyable. There is something called Half-Life M mod, which I believe actually makes it so that there are no more hit-skin enemies. I believe even bullets are avoidable there. It makes the entire combat feel much more modern, but in a good way. Because modern can also mean bad in various ways, but in this particular instance, it does make it more modern in a good way. Yep, we are fighting humans. I am staying far away. Because they hit as well as a stormtrooper does from this distance. Which is to say, not well at all. Alright. Why are we being attacked though? To me, there is no reason for us to be attacked. What is our purpose here? I wish to know what our purpose here is. Why are we here, and why are we now being attacked? I thought that we were here to investigate it, perhaps, but it is strange that we are now being attacked, and the intro didn't really give away much details for that. So, are we a researcher here? And is this a Black Mesa situation where they sent the military here to cover it up, essentially? It feels as though that might be what is going on, but I don't know. I also wish to briefly point out that they are using custom models for the guns. And, of course, the HEV suit that we are wearing too is white, as you can see here. So I find it interesting that they made these custom models, clearly. And they do look rather good. I don't know what weapons these are supposed to be. This looks like maybe some sort of MP5, but please don't quote me on that. I am not a gun person. I do not know about such things. Oops. That was not good. There was another one there. No. Do not shoot me. Only I am allowed to do the shooting. I am an endangered animal. I am a velociraptor. I technically do not exist anymore, and so... Can you even kill me if I do not exist? That is, I believe, an important question that we need to answer here. Oh, no. A tank. I see a tank, and I am already not happy. The tanks in this game, they are scary. I do not like the tanks in this game. They are very scary. Cencom Bay 3 Storage A. Okay. Okay, we can't open this door. Yeah, but I for a second I thought that this said 19, but this is just some sort of tube here. That's not a number. Well, I remember this particular area because, as I said, I played this mod about 10 years ago, and I remember this area because it was so confusing. I did not know that you were supposed to shoot these two things, and I remember running around for almost literally half an hour. And so I am glad that this is actually something that I remember from back then. I genuinely do not remember anything else from this map, but I do remember the fact that you had to do this somehow. And you can see, you actually have to shoot it a bunch of times, so it's not like something that you can accidentally figure out. I believe this is definitely one of the worst things in this entire mod. And you can tell it stuck with me, because a decade later, this is the only thing that I remember from this mod, is the fact that I could not figure this out. And this was I stopped here. So I never went past this because I couldn't figure it out. It took me 45 minutes until I remember I recorded it back then also. And after 45 minutes, I gave up. And then afterwards, I looked it up online, and I figured out that this was the problem. So I never actually went further than this. I don't actually know how long this map is. It's supposedly not too long. Well, I say that, but... Unfortunately, when I play, it always takes longer. Because I am a slow raptor. Despite my name, which has speed in it, I am rather slow at these games. Rather counterintuitive, I am aware, but such is how it is. Alright then. It is all going well thus far. Another bull squid. The combat has thus far been much easier than it was back in Half-Life Caged. Oh, okay. Well, I say that, and suddenly we are presented with dozens of soldiers. No, no, from behind. Alright, alright, alright. I'm so unused to having to reload all the time, because in Quake, obviously, there is no reloading. In Quake, obviously, there is no reloading, and so it can sometimes be a bit difficult for me to know when I have to reload, because this weapon here, this machine gun, only has 20 rounds for each magazine, and so that actually is not a lot. That actually depletes really quickly. And I can only hold 120 in total. One thing that is good, however, is that these soldiers do not take as many hits to go down as I had feared they might. Which does make sense. They do not appear to be actually wearing any sort of armor. They're just wearing these, like, really fluffy suits because it is rather cold. Luckily, I do not need to wear any fluffy suits because of my feathers. I just have to fluff them up all the way. And that would be enough. Aha. We are recharging our suit. And we have not yet died. We did die once when we fell down, but we haven't yet died from anyone, which is good. Nevertheless, I am going to be saving a lot of... Ow! The doors are pushing me away. I can hear a lot of fighting going on. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be standing here and wait for a little moment so that the soldiers and the aliens can do some fighting themselves. So that, hopefully, once they're done, there's fewer of each left. Also, you might have just noticed a interesting behavior of the Vortigons in this game. I shot this one Vortigon and it was nearly dead, and instead of attacking me more, it actually ran away. There is a YouTuber on YouTube, where else would they be, called, I believe, Martimus or Mortimus Black. And they have very interesting Half-Life videos because they go into a lot of detail about the AI of this game, because despite what you may think from the outside, the AI in this game is rather sophisticated. It's so sophisticated, in fact, that even my dear friends, the cockroaches, have a rather complicated AI that Valve thought about. So the Vortigons, when they're low on health, they run away. They don't want to fight you. You know, they're imprisoned anyway, as you can see here. If you know the Half-Life lore, you can see they are still wearing their imprisonment collars and handcuffs and everything. So they are being made to fight for this alien race. You know, they are being, for the Combine, I believe. They are being made to fight for the Combine. They don't want to. They just have to. And so when they're low on health, they're like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to die anyway. I'm just going to run away. Because they don't want to kill you. And in Half-Life 2, you actually see that they don't. There are... the Vortigons in Half-Life 2 are mostly friendly, because, you know, they no longer need to fight, because Earth has already been taken over, and so they just live amongst the humans and actually help out Gordon Freeman and Alex Vance later on, and actually help revive her again, I believe, in Half-Life 2, episode, I believe, 2. And so it is interesting to see these AI features that Valve implemented that most folk probably would never, ever see and look for, but they put it in there, and I like the level of detail that they added to this game. It just adds to the... It's just another reason why I feel like this game is fantastic despite being 30 years old, because they put so much thought into it, and I feel like a lot of developers nowadays often don't do that anymore. And it's always nice being able to analyze it and see what they thought of. Alright, we're almost out of ammunition for our pistol, actually, which is surprising. Because typically I would think that the pistol would be one of the guns with the most amount of ammunition strewn about, but in this particular mod, that does not appear to be the case. Alright, what do I have to do? Do I have to make this jump? I do have to make this jump, don't I? Crouch jumping is one of those quirks of this game that once you do it, once you've learned it, you start doing it in every game, and you think that crouch jumping will make you jump higher or further. Which is one of those things that you just kind of learn intuitively, and then you think every other game does it. And I keep finding myself, even in other games, trying to do crouch jumping, even when I play Quake. And it just comes so naturally to me, because I've played this game and various mods for it so much over the years that it just comes naturally to me now. Well, I say it comes naturally to me, I'm... Ooh. Oh. Help. I have fallen down. I thought I might be able to climb back out of that predicament, but I was not. Hello? Ah. Some health? I shall take that. Oh, I can't use the machine gun here, unfortunately. This probably lowers the ladders. Yes, it does. Splendid. Oh, the backdrop is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, I could stare at this all day. This is really... I mean, this is a rather low-resolution JPEG, obviously. But it's really beautiful, and it fits this entire theme rather well. All right. Also, is it just me, or does it sound as though the Vortigons say die in English when they attack you? It sounds as though they say that. It really sounds as though they say die. Which is interesting. Why would they speak English to you? There is somebody hidden behind here with a hole. Perhaps we can go there. What do we have here? A generator control. Ah. And these guys. Have fun with the grenade, guys. There we go. That took out all of them. Perfect. Didn't need to waste any ammunition on them. I do wonder how I'm supposed to go here, because you can see there is a guy lying there with some ammunition, and I would very much like to have some of that. Perhaps we shall find out in a second. I am somewhat annoyed at the fact that we are not given a large amount of ammunition for things. Ah. We have found some more ammunition for our gun here now, for the pistol at least. Uh-huh. There we go. Speaking of the devil, right as I say that we are not given enough ammunition for our pistol, we are given some more. Hello, Mr. Head Crab. Oh, so many head crabs. So many of them. Alright. And some more ammunition. And some health. Which is very much appreciated. Alright, there's 2 ways here that we can go. And again, I'm being given choices. And as I have said time and time again, dear game, I wish that you would stop giving me so many choices, because choices are difficult. Okay, there is a loading screen here, and loading screens typically imply that I am supposed to go there. So let us go to the other place here, and maybe that will lead us somewhere else that is optional. Ah, alright. It does lead us somewhere. It's just an empty corridor. Alright then. Then we shall go where we are supposed to go, where the loading screen also is. Alright then. That is alright. Oh, I hear a strange sound. Who are you? Well, something is happening here. I do not know who this person is supposed to be. I genuinely do not know. Unfortunately, I wish I did, but I can't tell. If it is somebody famous, and there we go. See, you can see the Vortigaunt running away. I've shot him a couple of times. He's hurt badly, and he doesn't want to fight anymore, you know. So he doesn't actually attack me anymore. See, he's badly hurt. He doesn't attack me anymore. But unfortunately, that's not how this goes. So, and yeah, interesting AI that this game has. Because people often think, it's 30 years old, it's such an unsophisticated and unadvanced game. But no, that's not the case. It is actually more advanced than you might think, and I think that's really cool. Alright, we probably have to go down here, but I already hear soldiers, so let us proceed with caution. Well, one soldier ran off. Oop. There we go. Does this have an alt fire? It does not. Ow. Well, that didn't work. Ooh, there's a thunderstorm outside now. Like, in real life. Ah! Alright, that hurt me. More than I would like to admit. Alright. Yeah, a thunderstorm outside. This is actually really nice vibes here now, sitting in my dark room, playing a Half-Life mod, sometimes seeing the lightning flash outside. It is a good Thursday, where I don't actually have to work today, because it is a holiday here in Germany, so I am recording so many Quake mods, so many Half-Life mods here today, you won't believe it. So, let us see. There's a bull squid here. Wow, that was hilarious. I actually shocked him. The bull squid was so scared he jumped up into the air. Another little AI quirk that you probably would not have actually noticed. Or that you might not actually notice if you weren't paying attention. Huh. What did that just do? Well, I pressed a button, but I genuinely can't tell what that just did. I pressed a button, but I do not know what it did. I'm just going to go back, because that's the only way that I can... I'm just going to... one thing that is always helpful when you're lost in a game, or in a map, or in a mod, is going where the enemies are, because typically the place where the enemies are is also the place where you are required to go. And I believe that is precisely what has happened here also. Infighting between enemies is always good. I'm just going to let the soldiers fight out whatever they're doing, and then we're going to go here. Hello? Okay, and let's get you two. And just as I'm shooting, more lightning flashes outside of my window. How fitting. It is almost as though I'm seeing the actual muzzle flash here. Precisely. And now I hear the thunder rumbling outside. Ah, I like it. These do not move now. Ah, I am on the other side. Splendid, and there's another button to push, and that probably opens this for real. It does. Perfect. Whoop. Okay, these go down much more quickly than I remember. This mod so far has a much lower difficulty, which I am a fan of. Thus far, it hasn't been too... You know, this seems suspicious. Why can I go here? You know, it feels as though I am not supposed to go here, but at the same time it does. Actually, I think I am supposed to go here, because that is the only way that I can go. Good. Once again, it is always fun accidentally finding out things such as that. Ah, hello. And you can see what I mean about avoiding the shots. I was able to avoid the shots of those aliens with relative ease, but if that had been a soldier, I would not have been able to do so because they have a hit-scan weapon. Wow, speaking of hit-scan weapons, we have found our first melee weapon here. And can we use it to climb? Wait, I think we... Huh. I feel as though we are supposed to climb up here, but it's not really working quite as I had hoped it would. I'll be honest, I really thought that I was able to go up here, but perhaps I am not. Alright, why would I have this ice pickaxe? What would I be able to use it for? I am uncertain. I can't break anything here. Oops, and that just lets me fall down. I felt as though this would mean that we are able to climb up here, but we can't. Huh. So we were given this ice pickaxe. So what is it that this game wishes me to do with it? I'm uncertain. I cannot break any of these. I thought that I would be able to climb up that area, but I'm also not able to do so. And the thing is, because I was given this pick, I thought that perhaps that would mean that we would be able to climb up some sort of ice, but we can backtrack, but... Uh-huh. No. I am rather confused. It looked like there was, like, a way to go there, no? It really feels as though I am supposed to climb up here, but... Ah, wow. I do not know what I did differently there. That was strange. Okay. That is a bit strangely designed, I apologize, but I do not know what it was that I did differently there that made it so that it worked the last time I tried, but not the 10 other times that I tried. A little bit obtuse, but that's alright, we managed to figure it out. All by ourselves, anyway. And we didn't need any help, luckily. The thunder is still thundering outside. Alright then. Another bull squid and grenades. I really wish I remembered what these were called. They remind me of the Nylanth. You know, I believe the Nylanth was actually a large version of these guys, but I do not remember. Oh my goodness, it is him. Okay. It's that guy. It's the gargantuan thing that you have to fight on a rail in Half-Life 1. Alright, let me think about that. We got a rocket launcher up there, and I do not know if you can actually kill that guy in a regular manner, or if you need some sort of... Because on a rail, the way that you kill him is actually by electrocuting him with something from the game environment. And I don't know if there is anything here like that. So this will be interesting to see. We are at 100 health, which is good. Oh no. Right, okay. This does not work. So we have a rocket launcher with 3 grenades. I have a feeling like... I feel as though this will not work, but we shall try. It probably would work if I... Okay. Because as I said, in regular Half-Life, there is no way that you can defeat this thing. Yeah, I am not entirely certain what I am supposed to be doing here. Oops, well, I am supposed to be dying, at least. Well, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be dying, but that is what I'm doing. All right. I have no idea if that is what I was supposed to do here, but luring him away and then just really quickly opening the door here just enough to squeeze through myself, appears to have worked. So, I do not know whether that was the intended solution, but it was a solution that worked, and so I shall not complain. Is this a car that we can drive? I do not believe we can. Alright, that would have been cool if we could drive this, like, snowmobile. Oop. Fighting. There are more soldiers here. I shall let them fight out, and then once they are finished with their fighting, then I will fight them. That way I do not have to waste my ammunition on them. Actually, I have to reload also. Alright then, let us go. But this one we can drive, clearly. There we go. Ah, and this is clearly using the same cart that is used in On a Rail, simply used in a different manner, and the rails are hidden here in this particular case. Ah. Time for Mission Impossible. We have to avoid the lasers here. Caution, laser. Caution, laser. I hope somebody in the audience will get that reference. Ah. I believe we may have properly avoided the lasers. Ah, splendid. Hello, there's somebody inside. Greetings. Oh, I'm being shot at. I like how he cowered, and because of his cowering, I was actually able to kill him. I was right behind him. I keep looking behind me. Getting me some health, and then we can go back outside and fight some more soldiers. There we go. Okay, there appears to be some more things to do here. Where are you? Oh, are they on the roof? Ouch. They are on the roof, I think. I need a security keycard. Or how do I get on the roof? How do they have an infinite number of grenades? That is what I wish to figure out. How do I get on top of the roof? Ah, here. With an elevator. Oh no, my nemesis. My nemesis, the elevators. I do not like elevators. Unfortunately, all my nice collected armor is already gone again. Oop, have to reload. Right, we need a key card. Where do we get a key card? Did we just collect one here by accident? No, we probably have not, but we can climb on top of here. Oh. Oops. Ah. Alright, there is glass in the way that I cannot break. Okay. So we shall jump down here. Hello, door. We can't open. Ah. So that is how we are supposed to do this. Hello there. And goodbye. Keycard. 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 Splendid. Alright, let's go back down. We have our keycard, so that means... How do they keep spawning out of nowhere? I do not like soldiers spawning into here for no reason. There we go. I still am confused as to why we are here and we are being shot at, because I felt as though we should not be the ones being shot at here. It just feels strange that we would be shot at for no reason. I thought we were part of the investigation team that was supposed to figure out what happened here. But it appears as though we might not be. Nah, it was not far enough. Fuck. Alright. Okay, our ammunition is getting somewhat low. It is difficult because you can only ever hold 120 or so. Well, actually, I think exactly 120 for the machine gun, which is not a lot of ammunition for a machine gun, in my opinion. Let's go switch back to the pistol for now, especially for the Vortigons, because the Vortigons have a rather slow attack pattern. Which means that the pistol is actually quite well suited for them, and they don't actually need a lot of shots to the head to die. So roughly 2 or 3, I think. Ah, a helicopter. Is there going to be a boss fight here? Or is this the ending? We have finished this map, it appears. But there are still so many questions left here. Why were we here? Were we perhaps not actually an investigator sent here, but were we one of the researchers that was there and was simply trying to escape? Because I feel as though it is rather strange if we are somebody sent there to investigate and then we are being shot at. Soldiers? So I'm assuming this is a Black Mesa incident like situation where we discovered something which the government of wherever we, whoever of the government of whoever we belong to, perhaps we are in the United States and this is Alaska or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if Alaska is actually part of the Arctic. Actually, probably not. But perhaps something like that happened, and the government is like, we can never let the information for this pass. We have to cover it up, and so they send out soldiers, and we were a lone scientist that managed to escape. And as you can see here, it was made by XF Alien in 2015. Right. That was Arctic Incident. I hope you enjoyed it, and perhaps you have some theories of your own what precisely happened here and why we were being attacked. So my theory, as I said, is that we were attacked because it was a situation like in Black Mesa where we had the unfortunate resonance cascade. It was rather enjoyable, however. There were 2 puzzles which were a bit problematic. The one where I had to climb the rope, and I tried several times, and then I tried again for the 10th time, and it worked even though I didn't do anything differently. And then, of course, the situation with the gas canisters, which I only knew because that is the place where 10 years ago I got stuck and never again played it because it annoyed me. So... But other than that, it was a very enjoyable game. Especially the beginning was fantastic with the atmosphere and the rather slow start. And I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. And as I said, if you have any more theories about what happened here, please do leave them in the comments. And if you like some Half-Life mods, go ahead and subscribe, because we are going to be playing plenty more of these. There are so many Half-Life mods to go through and play. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.